Welcome everybody to the 5G Go Zone, where we are always looking to help people grow their apps through our 5G system, which is gratitude. And today I am grateful not only for having everybody here, but there's sunshine today. For those of you who don't know, we're up here in Wisconsin and sunshine isn't always a thing in the middle of the winter. So today it's beautiful, it's sunshiny, and it's actually, okay, I'm going to say it's warm, but that's also 30 degrees. So for those of you who are not here, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what is she talking about? But for us, we're having a heat wave. And what have I got? Today, I have got some wisdom for you so that we can share and grow your apps, grow your concept, answer your questions. And that's also what I have to give. I have to give you time today. You have my time, you have my focus for the day. And what I hope to get is I hope to learn something. I always love to learn something whenever we meet, because I know together we can leverage what we have, and that will help our community grow. And I want to grow this community exponentially because it's time. Mobile apps is where everything is at right now. Everything is mobile. You tell me anybody who does not have this within a hand, one arm length away. In fact, I think it's kind of fun when we go to family events now, we make people put them in a bucket because we're so attached to them. And we want to keep that face to face. And that's really what we want to do here today. So we're going to dive right in with our face to face. I do have a couple of people who have filled out the form that we send out for anybody who wants a hotspot today in our 5G. So Janae, we are going to start with you. Why don't you first of all tell us, what are you grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful that I met you, Nancy, because otherwise I don't think we would have came this far with this idea at all. I'm grateful that you introduced us to Benny, who introduced us to Margot, who's done a wonderful job with the landing page and the new design on the app, which is like fantastic. I absolutely love that. So I'm grateful that we're in this space right now, because it's been really difficult, I felt like, and like stressful. Like, is this really going to happen? So I'm just grateful for that right now.
Excellent. Excellent. And yes, we are grateful to have you as part of it. So what have you got?
What you mean, far as?
What do you have? On your form here, you said you've got a mobile app, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready to launch yet, or are you just really close?
I think we're getting really, really close. The last message Margot sent, was about changing some of the wording on the landing page. Okay. And I guess we didn't have to do it right now, but it was just like a few things I just was thinking maybe we could add on there. But I like that she was inviting people to sign up to be the beta testers and stuff. So I really like that part, and I want to keep that part because we don't have anybody do testing right now. Even reaching out to people to look at the landing page was like a stretch. Mm-hmm. So I did reach out to some people that I know are at Milwaukee Public Schools to look at it. One principal that's at North Division, and another girl I went to school with who sits on a lot of the boards and stuff like that. I went to school with her, and she said she was going to reach out to me this weekend about getting together. She did not. So I don't like to be pesky. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to just hold off on reaching back out to her again. But I do want to talk to people like that to see if it's something that NPS would even be interested in doing. Okay. So that's kind of where I was at right now. But no, we're not launching yet. But I do think in probably the next like maybe 30, 45 days or so, we would be ready.
Well, kind of jumping ahead to what you're looking for. Because I know today you want to get some help, and you're looking to use your app as a coaching app. Did you want to take a moment and share your landing page and get some feedback from this group right now?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, you should be able to share your screen if you can.
Okay. This is my first time using my Surface Pro for Zoom meetings, so I'm not like, if I was on my phone, it would be like way easier, which I think I might just do that, because I don't know how to do it from the Surface Pro.
Okay, hang on. It's really simple. Do you have the link for the page?
I can look and see if it's if I could just email it to myself real fast. Hold on.
Yeah, or if you want to pop it in chat, I can open it up as well.
Okay. Let me just go to Slack real quick.
Because it's going to look different on your phone than it is on your desktop.
Okay. Because I never do anything on my Surface Pro. Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I've got it here pretty quick too, because I know we've been going back and forth with it. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. Oh, and it's not live yet, is it? It's on a test page. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see here. I think it's been just a little bit. Sorry about that. I thought we had it rather quickly. So while you look for that, and I'm kind of browsing here and I'm not finding it real fast either. While you're looking for that, let's also talk a little bit more about your app and how we can monetize it as well. As soon as you find it, you can pop it in chat and then I'll open it up.
Okay, I have it. I'm gonna share my screen.
Oh, great. Okay, great. Go ahead.
Now I gotta figure out how to share the screen. Where I click at here?
Should be.
Here we go. Share screen. I got it.
There you go.
Okay, entire screen. Is okay. Here we go. Share. Okay. Can you see it now, or what is it doing?
There we go. Perfect. Okay, so go ahead and walk us through this, and then we'll give you some feedback on it.
Okay, so when I was saying these were the 5 things, so you can see the college, trades, military, business, jobs, or build your own, you'll be able to create a plan here. Then she has the bar up top where you can search specific things. And then I liked all the wording and stuff, and it was just talking about the milestones and if you wanted to creating a plan. And the other feature that I really love is being able to compare the different careers next to each other, like how you would do a Carfax. So like the salary and how long it's going to take to complete a program. So that's all what she's describing here. And you guys tell me what you think about the color and the wording and the layout and stuff like that. And it do look different, Nancy, on here than it did on my phone. Mm-hmm. I actually really like the way it looks here. So.
Okay, excellent. I love your images. I think it really does show the phone quite well. Mm-hmm. Right now, are you looking for people to actually download the app? Is it live on the stores?
No, it's not live.
Okay, so, and this site is not live yet. Okay.
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay, so just a couple.
I like it. I love it. And I love the blue. It looks really good.
Yeah, I like your color scheme.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so once your app is live, this is great to have the links for download our app. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then as far as the layout, you've got a nice flow to it that you're having people do the call to action frequently. One thing that I would add to this is a video.
Okay.
A video of some form that introduces the app, talks about the app. A video is always a really, really good idea.
So the video, you think it should be like right here where the phone is with the hands, or it should be further down here to talk about the next steps or the beta testing? Like, where do you think the video should
maybe
go?
Next to the about? Like, you see where there's that image next to the about?
Yes.
That's where you could put the video.
Okay.
Because I mean, if there's you've got that nice paragraph about what it is about, but if they want more, if they're really looking for about, they click the video and that'll tell them more.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
That makes sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And if I can give 2 cents, one, I think that the youthful market, which will be your predominant market, right? What are we looking like 16 to 25, or what's your space?
I was thinking the high school, I really want it in the school settings because I feel like it's a good talking point.
Okay. So one of the things that I recommend that really kids, for lack of a better word, to engage. Forgive me, I'm 53, so everybody's a kid to me. But but to get that younger market to engage is, I think you're going to need some imagery. Like, I do not want you to lose the phone images. I agree with, I think it was Nancy or Stacy said they're amazing, but you will want to get some people images in there of that market specifically. Probably looking like I can imagine like a group of them looking at the phone together, or some imagery, you know, about signing up with the military, or walking around a school campus, like a college campus, or shaking hands for a job, right? So the easier it is for them to see themselves in it, then they'll better understand how it applies to them, right? Right now, it's a beautiful design for people my age, because we're like, get to the point, tell us what it is. We don't need all the fluff, right? But but I'm not your market. So that was the one thing that I can see that would, but it's very clear, and because it is the youthful market, it'll have to be a little more trendy than user friendly. I mean, like, you want it user friendly, but you're going to have to stay up with what's engaging for that market in the moment.
That does make a lot of sense. And like I keep saying to Nancy, and that's why I like and appreciate the group, because this is my first time doing this, and I'm not like 100% sure about any of this right now. But so I just be trying to get feedback, and so I have some cousins that's like 18, 19, so I like shared it with them, and my son is 15, so he gives me a little feedback. And he was actually sharing with me the other day that on their he goes to Greendale Martin Luther, and they have inside their like Skyward account, but it's like another link inside of there. That's he said mine sounded just like your app, but you can only access it if you're in their school in that program.
Yeah,
like it's no other way to do it. And I was just looking at it like, oh, this is a good idea. I like the way this looks. So I was just getting ideas from that.
Yeah.
But I can't
it's
do it unless I'm looking at his phone.
I mean, seriously, it is an outstanding concept. It is exactly what the market needs. And I will tell you that when you get big enough, I don't want to scare you, but when you start looking for sponsors for your thing, really, I would look at the associations around trades. My market is teaching people how to hire. So I know how hard it is for people to get the right people. Like, I come from the boss perspective, but what that means to me is that the labor force that you're talking about is going to be in high demand. And the trades right now, this country we're already having an issue, and it's going to get exponentially worse because families aren't really showing kids all these options, including skip college and learn a trade, and you're going to be making $80,000 in like 5 years. That's serious bank, right? And so there's a lot of opportunity, and anytime reach out to me if you have any questions about that. So I'd be happy to talk more.
Okay, great. And that's what I was like, when I talk to principals and stuff, I always say that part is that I really want my app to push that self-educated versus formal education. So my brother had encouraged me to try and find somebody that can actually give me some research about it. I couldn't find anybody that would actually help me do that. But I'm like, that would be a good selling point to go talk to a principal to say, like, you know, do you look at the stats of people who do this versus that, you know, because that really is important, because kids are struggling to get through high school, especially virtually. So It's like, you know, to push them to go do, like, my brother's a plumber. He got the contract. He was just talking to Kamala Harris on the TV like 2 weeks ago. He was, because he's a minority plumber, and he's like the only master plumber in the city of Milwaukee right now that's a minority.
Wow.
And so he has all the lead lateral contracts, looking to make a couple million this year off of that, you know? Yeah. So I'm like, that's the type of stuff we want to, you know, push, is what I was trying to do with my app.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it is absolutely brilliant. Please reach out to me if you ever need. I don't have tons of stats, but I can at least point you to where you can get information, and I can connect you to more people. It's a brilliant, brilliant concept. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent. And while we're on the subject of your app, let's talk about monetizing it. Tamar just gave you a great idea, which is to have sponsorships. I do believe that if your app is not free, that you're going to have some issues with people downloading it. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't be free, but parts of it can be locked down. So, for example, the way that your app is working is you have like profiles, or what are you calling them?
The plans.
Plans. Thank you. I knew it was a P word. You have plans, right? Maybe you only allow one plan. But then to upgrade your app, you can have more. Now, people are very misnomered about the fact that paid apps will make them a ton of money. You need millions of people on your app to have that really be effective for the type of audience you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Your audience wants free apps, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't mind unlocking more features.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the bulk of your money is going to come from sponsorships. The other thing you can do on your app, and you'll have to talk to Robinson about this, is you can attach ads in your app. Those different ads that they have, they're all attached to Google and Google and Facebook and that kind of stuff where they run. But you could then charge an upgrade to be ad free.
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to find there's a podcast that was done, and I wish I had the resource right offhand, but it was done by the gentleman who owns or developed Calendly.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually said that he made his money by giving away his app for free.
Mm-hmm.
Because people automatically, he did like, I don't know, $5 a month or something like that. You get it ad free. People are signing up for that more than anything because they don't want to deal with advertising.
Yeah.
And that way you're still giving all the resources for people who want to deal with that, as well as being able to get your sponsors, etc. So I do think that is part of it. The other thing that you can consider down the road, not yet, you got to get much more established in this, is to actually sell licensing for your app to different branded areas. So let's say that you're working with a recruitment firm or something like that, and they want to offer this tool to everybody who comes to work with them, like a staffing agency. What's a local one? Seek. You're probably familiar with Seek, right? Little local staffing firm that does a lot of the type of audience that you're talking to. They are your not necessarily tradespeople, but they are your laborers. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
And you might eventually, but you got to build this up to be a lot more than what it is right now before you can go to that road. But if you want to look at a 5-year plan, you want to have that as part of your plan.
Okay.
So these are just some ways that you can monetize it without it being the traditional charging for the app. You've got to make this thing free. Now, be careful, and you've got to have this conversation with Benny and Robinson. I actually asked Benny, and he didn't quite respond. He must have missed that one because you know Benny. He's usually all over it.
Yeah.
Apple, and Lisa can attest to this, Apple does not like paid ads that do not use Apple Pay.
Okay.
They do not like this. And we had a great workaround for Lisa's app. And so we're good. Remember, the stores take 25% or more. So if you're charging $10, they're going to keep $2.50.
Right.
And you have to use their processing. Now, Google is totally different. So you need to kind of work through that to make sure that the in-app programs are different. Like with Stacy's app, it's not a problem because hers are actually courses that are being unlocked and they're actually being purchased over on a desktop. Same thing with Lisa's. Lisa's, we've got this workaround. Google, no problem. The people look like they're buying within the app for Lisa's, but they're actually going out to a website to purchase. And then we've got it set up where we're unlocking the features for her.
Right.
And again, Lisa's audience is completely different than yours. Now they can overlap, no question about it. They can, in fact, every single one that we're talking to here today can overlap without a problem. But with Lisa's app, people want to pay for those extra features. They have some free parts, but they want to pay for those extra features because it gives so much more.
Okay. Because I was, it does. I was thinking about like if you signed up for a SAT prep, like, you know, like have a resource tab and have different things like that, like a SAT or even like driver's ed. If you sign up through my app, I get so much percentage of whatever that thing is that you signed up for, maybe, or just using the resources to like buy books for college or something like that.
Right.
You could, you know, it's a fee behind that. So I've been thinking about different stuff, but I promise, Nancy, I don't know how none of it works.
Well, actually, affiliate marketing isn't difficult. So, for example, You might want to get affiliate marketing. Believe it or not, Best Buy does affiliate marketing. A lot of people don't know that. But if you, and it's, I want to say literally it is on the bottom of their website that says affiliate marketing. I'm almost certain of it. I haven't looked in a while because it's not something I do. But in your case, if you want to have a resource for people to purchase technology, right? You can have this link to Best Buy. People think they're just going out to Best Buy, but you've got it set up where they're going to actually give you 2% of every sale. May not sound like a lot, but 2% here, 5% there, a couple percentage there. So you want to leverage your affiliate marketing without it looking like your affiliate marketing. So that's basically what you're talking about. And that's a great resource as well. And it's something I recommend to anybody who has recommendations. I do it, but I only recommend the tools that I use. I don't recommend just to be, a lot of people do that on affiliate marketing. They're just like all over.
So then my next question, Nancy, would be so if I wanted to have, like the Army and the trades program, the labor unions and stuff as part of my app, and to get like a contract with them to say, like, you saying it's too soon for me to do that now because I don't have enough following, but in the end, like when it's, maybe in a year or two, once I build up enough following for people, like how do I actually get money from them? And I don't want to go out there and like stab myself in the foot and they like, no, we don't want to work with you. You're trying to charge us this much.
Tamar, go ahead.
Okay.
Tell her the tricks.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things first, Jenna. So I think there's two ways to pitch this, right? So it could be just a little bit of money, but I think it's more about finding a way to align yourself with people that are hurting for people to come to them. So when you go to, it's called pitching, and when you go to pitch your Army contact, whoever that's going to be, who has marketing money and able to advertise or support, you say, look, this is a mission I'm on. I'm on a mission to make sure that all of the youth coming up understand all of their options. And I love and respect the military, and I want the kids to understand that. So this is your opportunity to be on the ground up of this app as we're building it, and I want to make sure that you this aligns with where you're going. So one of the ways you do that is you start to find a contact that might know the right people that talk about supporting community, call it community support, community engagement. They have different things. You might have to give them a little ad for like free for like 3 months or something, but really say, this is a mission. I want the kids to know everything, and if you want to be represented, Mr. Army, Mr. Navy, Mr. Air Force, whoever you go with, or all of them, then this is, that I'm the app to do that. And you align them with the mission, the reason, the why of why you're doing this, that you care about the kids and they need to understand all of their options instead of thinking, it's, one or two and that's it. And the military is underrepresented in getting in front of kids. And now it will be on their phones. How can you not want to be a part of this? Right. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Does that make sense? So I think when you first approach them, worry less about money. And I think you just say, look, have you worked with an app before? How much have you guys invested in this? How much are you investing in trying to stay in front of the local community here in the Milwaukee area, or the global or national, whatever your audience that you're targeting? And then say, okay, is this the phone is in their hands. How do you not want to do this? Right. This is literally, I'm going to the schools. I'm going to be building relationships with the schools. So the schools are going to be recommending these apps as something that kids can better understand their choices. And how can you not want to be represented here? Right. And then you actually have the same conversation with all 5 areas, whoever you're going to, right? How can you not want to be represented in this university? How can you not want to be represented in this company that's hiring, or recruiting company or staffing company, right? It's the same. Get them aligned with the mission. If you want to be in front of the labor force that's coming up, which we all need to be in front of, then this is where you're at. But I think that the people that will have the money and be the most anxious and excited are going to be the trades, military second, and the recruiters will do it eventually because some are trying to, bring staffing in. But I think that right now the people that are really hurting are those 2 areas for recruitment.
So do I pay them, or are they going to pay me?
No, no. If they decide that they're going to put a banner, an ad, have their name, their logo, they pay you when there's money involved. But you might offer to let them try it for 6 months. You'll track how many leads you get them, and you'll be able to report that back to them and say, look, your link was, clicked on, 130 times, and so this is something that's working for you. Is anybody else delivering that? And this is your target market, people before they've decided, right? The 16 to 17-year-olds. And I think that that'll be really powerful for them. But if you can get them to give you cash, it's worth asking. But if they're like, you're too new, we're not allowed to do that, then you say, okay, great, let's talk about a 6-month trial, right? That's when you start to negotiate from there. That's my best suggestion there. Now, I don't have those sponsorships. It's not in my business model, but that is how it would work. And it's in your best interest to find somebody that has gone down that route. I'm sure Nancy knows somebody.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. I love that. Sure.
Excellent. Okay. So Janae, I hope we've been able to help you a lot. The one thing I wanted to tell you as far as the video goes, it doesn't have to be long. 60 seconds. You got to think about your audience and their attention span, which we all know is not the greatest these days because we're all so mobilely connected. So make it only about a minute, 90 seconds tops, just enough for people to get a feel for what it is. So, and I have a couple of video resources that I can talk to you about that can help you create that.
Okay.
There's you do it yourself, and it can literally be as simple as you being down in some nice background doing the recording yourself. That's not a problem. So excellent. So let's see here. Lisa, how's your app going? What do you need? How can we help you? And of course, what are you grateful for today?
Oh, I just loved hearing the sharing between Janae and Delmar. That was awesome. I'm so excited. I want the app for myself. And I'm thinking about these kids that I know that I would definitely share it with, or I will share it with when they're ready, because I have seen them just yesterday. My nephew is just tormented and staying home in a funk, and he's 21 and he still can't figure it out. Like something like this would be so helpful, because they all have their phones, like you said. So anyway, I'm excited about that. My partner Maggie and I are working on the next step is generating some videos. So I think that's the part that's been missing in our beta test. People are all excited, and a huge success rate for when you share it with somebody. 80% of the people, go all in. There's a free part, a monthly part, and then an all-in membership. And which is exciting, but they're not interacting, and they're not staying, and they're not replying to my emails, checking in on, how's it going? And these are like my best friends. So if that's why it's so nice to have a beta test group to find out, what's going on. So we think that the key is to get some more life in it. The videos, me when I'm not sounding like I've got a cold, things like that, and sharing about it, and bringing things more current, like what's coming up, and how can this be useful now, and with what's going on in the world. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about getting people interactive within your app, because I know Stacy will have this with hers. I have that with our community. I've noticed that people aren't necessarily participating on the community board to ask their questions right now. And Lisa, you have the same thing going on. How do we get people interested to stay? Because part of the problem, I feel, is that Facebook has burnt us out as far as groups go, as far as participation. And I know, Tamar, yours is going to be the same thing, that you need to have this group participation. Now, one forum that I belong to, and actually I think, Tamar, you belong to the same one as with Melissa, and that we have a forum and people are very active in it, but it's all about asking questions about the platform, because that's really what it is. So most of the time people go to this because they have a reason to ask a question. You're looking for group participation in generating the piece. you know, like I put on there a while ago, and this is a little sidebar, sorry, I've gotta share this wonderful news, is that unfortunately my cousin had a brain aneurysm and was about to be put on palliative care, which for those of you who don't know that, it is end of life care. And I put it out on the Generating Peace board, the prayers. She is alive. I mean, she's in a nursing home now. Yes, of course, she's got, you know, issues, but she opened up her eyes. She started breathing on her own. We're talking somebody that was there. So I put it on this board, and the power of that board is what helped pull it through. There's no doubt in my mind, because the doctors were saying this is the route she has to go. And that actually happened in October is when the illness happened. So look at how quick that happened, right? But my question is, how do we transition people off of Facebook, which from what I understand, and this might be something that you want to do as well, Lisa, is to say there's a lot of stats out there right now that people are starting to pull away from social media for a number of reasons. There's less users on Facebook, less people are interacting with Facebook every single day. And a lot of it has got to do with privacy issues, because I mean, I don't know if anybody heard the GoFundMe yesterday, the big article with GoFundMe and the Canadian truck drivers that are going on. They raised millions of dollars, and all of a sudden GoFundMe said, no, we don't like your political view. We're going to return all the money to people. And that's not right. Okay. Yes, they're a private company and they have the right to say this or not, but you really needed to have told these people before they put up the fund that you weren't going to accept it, not after you've collected $10 million, right? So that's the power of having a private app, is that you control the narrative. I think one thing that you want to do is you want to start reaching out to people and saying, look, this is private. This is us. This isn't, we're not censoring. Yes, of course, I shouldn't say it that way. You're going to take down something that's not appropriate, of course, and that's anybody's app anytime. But I've noticed that there's a lot of interaction where people need to transition over to these private apps. Now, as a user, what would get you to take action? That's my question.
Mm-hmm. So I can tell you a couple of things that's going on with me, if that's okay, if anybody's interested.
Please.
Is that helpful?
Please.
So as Nancy well knows, I 100% why I'm going the app route is because I do have a small community piece to what I currently offer in my company. And I was fighting it, I was like, no, I don't want to do a community. I have no idea why. I just was really like, self-sabotage, whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, I got to do this. And I thought, and to date, I've been delivering my products and services for years now. To date, people come to me when they have a problem, which is what I hear you guys saying. Now, the thing that I just started, literally like 3 weeks ago, just started it. And already the first one has happened and the second one's scheduled. And I've got people RSVPing for it. So I added a new training that I am doing once a month. So it takes 45 minutes plus prep time, right, for my training. It's not a webinar where I sell. I'm going to use it for lead generation, because I'm going to let anyone from the public attend this webinar for $39. They're going to have access to it for 5 days, and then they can either join the community at one of the 3 levels, right? If they so choose, or they can just make sure to watch it. If they miss a live, they've got to watch it within 5 days or they lose access to it. Big deal, right? But already I saw that I had a couple of people join the very first one, which I announced like 7 days before I did it. And I had 3 people from outside my community come to it. And then I announced the second one. I haven't really done any marketing outside, but I saw that I've already got 4 of my members signed up to come to that new training. And 2 of them are people that aren't really engaging on Facebook at all. In fact, many people were super happy when I announced I was moving away from Facebook. So we're closing our Facebook group at the end of this month. We just moved everybody onto we're still trying to get used to the app we chose, right? But I see by offering a live opportunity for more to go deeper on what our topic is, is the way that we're engaging. It's a new thing, right? Now, not everybody's going to be able to come, not everybody's going to care about every topic, but when it's relevant to them, I will get somebody who has been a part of the program and maybe is just kind of skating on what they already know and they don't really need to engage. I'm going to suck them back in by having this very specific, deep topic. And I can see where it's going to be super powerful to both engage my current people and to entice my lead generation. So that I will tell you, I'm really, really excited. I mean, literally just started it. None of the 3 upgraded to the community yet, but I feel like they're going to go to another training. That's the word on the street from the 3. So we're working on the marketing of the sale part of that. But I was so surprised. I literally announced the next title and 4 of my members were like, yeah, I'm going to that. I'm going to that. I'm going to, I was like, whether they show up or not, that means it's relevant. That means they're in the community. They got the notice and they came in and looked at it. So it's getting them in there to see things again. So if there's a way to bring about a topical thing that you do once a month live, maybe that's, be there to get that special time with you or however your content, that might be something.
That is awesome. I love the suggestion. I think it's fantastic. That is part of why I started this community. So we had a live component because people do business with people. There's no question about it. Now, we want to switch people off of social medias and onto our private apps so that we have a lot of positive reasons why we're doing this. The biggest thing you have to do is create the habit. Now, one thing that I've noticed that Melissa has done is we are constantly getting notifications that something's going on in the app, whether it's via email, via text message, or even a push notice. It is something is going on within the app, and it directs people over to the app itself. Now, I think that's something that you really need to get conscious of doing is sending messages to people, whichever way it is. People want to hear either text, email, or push notice. Usually they'll do 2 out of the 3. And that's why I started doing text messaging to tell you about these meetings so that people would remember to come. Now, I've had a couple people say, can you take me off of the text message? I only like my email. That's fine. It's a style. It's repeating the same information. And don't be afraid to repeat the same information in multiple spots to bring people back and to give them a reason to come back. Lisa, you can use my little story as a testimonial for your app. I mean, truly, not like we need testimonials of the power of the universe and the collective energy and stuff. I get all that.
Oh, we do need testimonials. Everybody needs testimonials. Nancy's being nice. Everybody needs them.
Everybody needs a testimonial.
So Nancy, it would be more powerful if you wrote that for her so that she could just copy and paste or social proof it. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about doing a little video about it because that way.
Even updating it. Okay, that was the initial prayer request, which was so miraculous. What's needed next? Okay, now she's in a nursing home,
Right, exactly. Because now, and she definitely has issues. We just don't know where it's going. Right. But that's, from that aspect. But I think it's about building.
I was going to say, I think too, when you hear stuff like that, you tend to follow it. You want to see what actually happens, like make sure she's okay. If she start walking again and talking and stuff, people follow that type of stuff and like will literally log on just to see what happened. I know I do when I get on Facebook and I've seen something. I'm like, did they have, like if somebody was pregnant, like, did she have a baby? Did she post a picture of a baby? Like you literally just want to see what happens. So you tend to follow the story.
You make a very good point there, is that you have to keep it interesting. And in my situation, I actually only posted it on Generating Peace app. I did not put it on social media because that's not my style. In fact, you probably have noticed the only things that really go on social media have to do with the business, articles that I found, articles that I've written, which actually brings me back to another point. And we're going to talk about that at the end here, but it's about putting content in and getting people engaged. And that's the biggest thing. And I think every single one of us needs to get people engaged within our app and creating the habit. Think about your own habits of what you do every day. And for those apps that you don't get notifications on or reminders to go back in, then you want people to, you're going to forget about that app. I mean, shoot, the phones even tell you right now, these are the apps that aren't being used at all. And that's a problem. so because then you can delete them right off. You don't want one of your apps to be deleted off of somebody's phone. So if you're not doing push notifications, in-app messaging, email, and text messaging to tell people to go to the app and direct them over there. Let's not forget, Facebook has built up. Look at what Facebook did to get people to come to them and duplicate it, or any of the socials, anything, Twitter, LinkedIn, everybody's lobbying for this space and this time and attention. And you're going to push the concept and push the messaging that we are leaving Facebook because, or we chose not to go. In fact, Lisa, your group never went to Facebook. You've chosen not to go there because, and really, Lisa, your topic is so powerful and it's very private. People are very private about that. And you're giving them a safe space to be private with it. Does that make sense?
Yes, and all this has been very helpful. Thank you, everyone, for.
Yep. Stacy, I don't want to forget about you. You got something today?
I was thinking about what the other lady was saying about, like, you could possibly, like, I saw I actually applied or signed on and joined, it's called Mighty Networks, where you can have your own platform there.
Yeah, I looked at Mighty Networks, Stacy.
What did you think of it?
Well, so I think it depends on what you want. So for me, our content is predominantly hosted on a site that I love and will not leave. So I needed something, I wanted, very frankly, I'm using my app as a sales funnel and a community engagement situation. So for me, Mighty Networks and my core audience, they got a lot going on. So it was really important that the app be super clean and easy and not a lot of stuff. And Mighty Network has so much stuff and so much going on that I thought the look of it was going to overwhelm my people. And I don't need that. I need one space that's clear and easy. Click here, go there, find that. That's it.
Gotcha.
And so for me and my team, what I'm doing, I really like Circle. That's who I ended up going with. But it's your best bets out there are Mighty Networks and Circle. And I know a lot of people on Mighty Networks and they love it. So you just got to look at both of them and decide what's best for where you're going. It really just depends on what you want.
Okay.
Right. And Mighty Networks is the one that our friend Melissa is using. But Stacy, don't forget, you've got it within Guru Camp.
I do. Yeah. I was just thinking of, like, if I want to do with that, if I want to have that platform or if I want something different, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, because you can build out Guru Can to be based on topic, and you'll keep people within your platform. Anytime you can keep people within your platform is actually more powerful than anything else. And I guarantee you that our friend Melissa, as soon as they put this over into her software, that's the one piece that's kind of missing right now. She will move everything over to that. No question. You want to keep people within your platform. It not only helps your SEO, it also helps just to keep people active. And in your case, Stacy, get people to buy more because you're selling these courses. You're not going to be making them all free.
Right.
So that is one thing, definitely. In fact, Stacy, have you launched yet, or are you getting very close?
I'm getting very close.
Okay. Don't forget, next month, if you need to, go ahead and fill out a 5G Go Zone form, and we can talk about helping you launch your app if we don't start working on that beforehand.
Okay.
So excellent. Okay. Does anybody have anything else before I wrap it up with my tip of the day?
I was just going to say to Lisa about her Positive and Peace app. I was thinking about the teachers when, you're thinking about how much support and, stress that they're under right now, that maybe, reaching out to some of those type of, I don't know, to go on LinkedIn or something like that, where you can kind of reach out to more teachers and educators that might need that peace right now and just some positivity. So that's what I thought about when I was listening to her talk about her app.
Thank you. Great idea. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah. And you might even want to talk to the different institutions about being able to put a flyer up with your QR code so that people can just scan it and download it right away. That might be something that'll be helpful as well. And I would go around to as many different institutions as you can. In fact, Lisa, if you want to brainstorm some of those later, let me know. I think schools are a fantastic spot to start. Some may or may not, allow it, but you're not going to know unless you ask. What's the worst that they're going to say no? Well, your flyer isn't there right now anyway. So it's all good. Okay. All right. So here's the one thing that I'm going to leave you with today is that every single one of us needs to blog more. You need to create your content out there, because what happens is you can use that content to repurpose it. First of all, in some of your platforms like Lisa's, it can be a link within her app where people can be accessing this blog. You can also start sharing that out and it'll drive people back to your app. Now, here's the problem with blogs. As soon as you open up that piece of paper, unless you are a writer extraordinaire, your mind goes blank. I know mine does, right? And there's some articles that I've got listed here that I definitely want to write. I found a new tool. Yep, it's an AppSumo. I know, it's an AppSumo. But this is one that I've been playing with that actually is producing better. And it's called Texa AI. I just put it in the chat. It's not expensive. It'll allow you to write about 20 blogs a month. And if you can do that, great. If you go more than that, well, then buy more credits with them. But this will allow you to put in some ideas and it actually generates the blog for you. Now, here's the kick though. Always, always, always go back, read it out loud, and make sure that it does not sound like a computer that wrote it. Add your own personal touch and make sure that it does everything that you want it to do, as far as like, sometimes they'll pull in ideas that you don't do. For example, it said in one of my articles we were writing about video, it says, I'll make a video for you for $500. It's like, no, I won't. I don't do videos. I do videos, but I don't do them for my, I don't sell my video services. It's just not aligned with what I can do. So check out this tool. It's $69. No, this is not one that I have an affiliate on. This is one that I personally own though. And check it out. I think you're going to like it. The beauty of AppSumo is you have 60 days to try it out, but it's one way to help you get your blogs. We just finished doing a whole series of blogs for our app Easy Beasy. And now we have enough blogs set up that we can release one a week for the rest of the year. So, and we used a tool like this. I know I've talked about other tools. I've talked about Phrase. I've talked about those. This is the latest one that's on the block. The beauty of AppSumo is if you don't care for this tool after you've used it, you can return it. And don't worry, there'll be another one coming along. AI tools seem to be the latest. So I hope you have found that helpful. My question is, does anybody have anything else that they'd like to add for today? Nope, we got everybody's questions. Excellent, excellent. I look forward to seeing you next month. Please mark your calendar, the second Tuesday of every single month at 10 o'clock Central Time. And it's the same link that we've got right here. Reminders will go out, but make sure you mark your calendars for the rest of the year. And everybody go off and have an absolutely fabulous day.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.